Hello everyone and welcome to Bar TV's live coverage of the real NRL. It's round 3. We're here at Townsend Oval to cover the round 3 washout between the South Newcastle Lions and the Central Newcastle Butcher Boys. Fairly wet underneath. We had a walk around earlier today, so a bit of a breeze coming out of the south as well, so expect those conditions to pretty much favour the team from going right to left on your screen this afternoon. Well, it's a big afternoon for Bar TV. We've got plenty of experience in the commentary box. I'm joined this afternoon by the Western Suburbs Rosella's coach Craig Miller and of course the Newcastle Herald's real NRL reporter Josh Leeson. Craig, great to have you back.
Good to be back, Pete. Pretty exciting game. Souths are tracking along very well. I think they're the form side of the competition of the last month, and I think Central got back on track a little bit last week with a good win, so this should be a very exciting game.
Mate, you were scheduled to go around on Friday night, but again that match got washed out. You not having much luck.
We're having no luck with the weather, and Harker, if you want a left field stat, we've only played there twice since August last year, so it's not much footy at home. But positive side of that is I think we've got about 7 games at home in the last round, so it should be good going into the semis.
Okay, well, we welcome also to the microphone this afternoon Josh Leeson from the Newcastle Herald. Afternoon, Josh.
Hi, Pete. Great to be here, mate.
Mate, it is. It's a fairly chilly day here, so ideal playing conditions. Not too hot. I guess you've got to expect that. It is winter after all. Anyway, there's a few changes that we might quickly go through the Central Newcastle side because we're not too far away from kickoff. This is the side as we understand it. Of course, that could change before the teams come out onto the field. At fullback, we have Tom Morton. On the wings is Jared Knott and also Josh Nielsen. The centre pairings of Cale Bowen and Josh Allison. The 6 and 7 is Ryan Walker and Tom Liddon. The 8 is Cruz Wilson. 9 is Jace Delaney. The 20 is Daniel French. The 11 is Nathan Dwyer. 12 is Rowan Kelly. And of course Dean McBain in jersey number 13. The interchange of Chris Marlborough, Brett Jarrett, Mark McCauley and Noel Underwood, and of course they're coached by Matt Lantry. We might go through the commentary team. A quick tip today, you can't really go past Souths, can you, Craig?
No, Townsend, they're a bloody hard side to beat at Townsend. They've knocked over Cessnock, Macquarie, Maitland in the last 3 or 4 weeks. They give us a hell of a game a month ago, and I think on the back of Briggs, they should be too strong for Central.
Josh, what about Adam Bettridge yesterday saying that Central Newcastle are going to be the favourites for this one? That's a bit of Twitter.
You're surely joking there. I think, as Barney was saying, I think Souths have been one of the form sides of the last few weeks. Interesting enough, though, Scott Briggs is out today, which is going to be, going to obviously affect their attack a lot because he's been great the way he's shifted the ball out to the fringes quite quickly. So, it'll be interesting to see how Steve Withers goes. And I've been pretty impressed with what he's done at fullback. But I've never seen him play halfback before. So that should be a bit of a test for South. But I still think that their forwards will get them home, and they'll be way too strong for a Central side who is probably underperformed so far this season.
Well, of course, they're second on the ladder, 14 points. They've only lost 1 match, so we're expecting a big game from Souths. Of course, Central at the moment, they're 6th on the ladder. Last premiership back in 1949 as well. So we're just waiting for the sides to come out onto the field. It's around 3 o'clock the kickoff, so we're not far away. Just touching on scores from the CRL Championships the other day. The Newcastle Rebels stormed home late to beat Canberra 34 points to 28. But understand, Craig, fullback Justin Smith, he could have a bit of an injury from that match. He's off to see the specialist this week. I understand he suffered a bit of a neck injury. Do you know?
Yeah, I went down there yesterday and watched that, and I was impressed with Canberra and the effort they put in. But to Newcastle's credit, to be down 16-0 and win an important game like that, they hung in tough, and I just think they had too many guns at the end. As far as Smitty's concerned, I don't know if the injury's as bad as what it seems. Justin can find himself at a specialist at a drop of a hat, so I'm not reading too much into that just yet. We'll wait and see what happens.
Okay, no doubt he's got that doctor's certificate for you, just in case he needs it. Mate, as you just mentioned, they were trailing 16-0 after 30 minutes. Half-time, they got back into the clash, Newcastle against Canberra, by 16 points to 12. And, of course, next weekend they head up to Tamworth, and that should be an absolute ripper against Illawarra. Of course, they're the defending championship of the country rugby league as well. So all eyes will lead to Tamworth next weekend. Well, it's been an interesting week in rugby league circles in and around Newcastle. Newcastle Knights administration as well, taken over by the National Rugby League. Josh, I was reading an article in the Newcastle Herald throughout the week about the real NRL future funding of, I understand it, they throw in about 150,000, they top it up to around 180,000. Do you expect the real NRL to be out of pockets, from the changes from the Newcastle Knights, or is it just too early to tell at this stage?
It's too early to tell. I certainly don't think at this stage, it's probably a bit hard to tell what's going to happen. I know Matt Harris is still sort of trying to find out exactly how much funding they're actually going to get from the NRL. I know under previous arrangement with HSG, they were getting 300,000, which was an extra 120 on the 180 they've always had. The contract is still in place till 2027 to get the 180 a year from the NRL. Hopefully that'll still be in place, because I think if it isn't, obviously the real NRL is going to have a lot of problems, because a lot of funding helps with administration costs, that sort of stuff, and of course they've got extra costs now with Matt Harris's CEO role, which has been an additional expense to the Newcastle Rugby League. So of course it's his role to create more revenue, more advertising, more sponsorship for the league. So, until we find out exactly what's going to happen, it could be interesting times.
Okay, well, we're about to roll here at Townsend Oval between the South Newcastle Lions and the Central Newcastle Butcher Boys. Central Newcastle Butcher Boys will be getting play underway. They'll be running right to left on your screen. And we're underway, Townsend Oval, here in Merriweather. The venue for this afternoon's clash, and the Lions on the bring back on tackle number 1 through their number 8 in Liam Richards. Takes a tackle 2 metres short of the halfway line. They advance it through the middle of the field. If you just clicked onto the telecast here this afternoon, of course this is the round 3 washout match. Going ahead. Halfway through the real NRL season as well. No doubt West still undefeated so far this year, looking to eye off their 3rd premiership in a row at the end of this season under the coach of Barney Miller, who of course is our guest in the commentary box today. Tom Morton, first touch for him at fullback for the Butcher Boys. And he'll play the football 15 metres out from his own line. This is Josh Allison in 4. 4 in the tackle from the Lions. They're in there in numbers. Not 1, not 2, but as we mentioned there, 4 players. Bang them down. Now they advance it through the 8, up towards the 40-metre line. Where will it go now? Delaney in a dummy half. He works to the right-hand side. The 13 is with it. The lock forward in Dean McBain. So good start for Central. They're going to kick inside their own 40. Liddon puts boot to the football, heading towards that eastern touchline, but it's been cut off over there. And the Lions looking to bring the football back in towards the middle of the field, Craig Miller, 21 metres out from their own goal line.
A good start by both sides. South have got their customary aggressive defence, which I think they've built a lot of their wins off in the last month. All that enthusiasm, commitment in defence is really paying off. And but I think if Central just stay nice and steady, stick in the arm wrestle, I think they'll weather all that tough stuff early.
This is Liam Richards, 5 metres short of the halfway line. They're going to kick just outside the 40 off the boot of Steve Witters. Bangs it between fullback and the winger. Over there to collect it. Josh Nielsen in 5. First touch for him. Comes in off the wing to be collected there by Steve Witters. Now, over the 30-metre line they come. The 12 is with it. Rowan Kelly. Bandage across the head as well as the Butcher Boys come up over the halfway line. This is Daniel French in 20. Met in a 3-man tackle. One of them there was Simpson. To continue to go to the right-hand side of the field. This is Cruz Wilson down inside the 40. He'll get up and play the ball. The ball's hit the head there of the Lion, but it says, referee says play on. This is going to be a tester. At the back for the Lions. Did well there. Johnson, I think you'll find that is, at fullback. He collects the football there. Josh Leeson on his own goal line before he's banged down, 5 short of the in-goal area.
Yeah, Brendan Johnson, he had his first grade debut last week up at Curry and scored 2 tries, the opening 2 tries of the game. And I know, talking to Adam Bettridge after the game, he's very impressed with the young fella and young boy from Moree, and yeah, another good take from him.
As we see now, the Lions 25 metres out from their own goal line. Last premiership back in 1989. That's forward. Referee says play on, and they're into touch. Well, lucky break there for the Lions. I thought that pass looked a little bit flat.
Yeah, look at you've got to cover South down the edges. They always play that short side very well, and the Central probably covered off on it, but South probably showed their arm a little bit too early then, and probably Coach Bettridge just want to get through their sets at this stage.
Well, there was the replay there. So we're back to live pitches in the middle of the field on the cricket pitch area. Only sprinkling rain throughout the morning here in Newcastle. But we've just checked the radar, and it looks like there's a bit of rain on its way up from Sydney as they go wide. This is Josh Allison, 24 metres out from the South Newcastle Lions line. He'll get up and play the football slowly. Going from dummy half, it's Delaney. He runs into Todd Hurrell. 5 metres out from the Lions goal line. Back across now to Liddon. Oh, strong defence. They've forced the error of the Lions. They've got the football, Josh Leeson, 12 metres out from their own goal line.
It looked like Dean McBain actually dropped that ball before he got hit, but yeah, as you said, it was great. Great defence there by Bo Simpson. He's a very tough defender. I certainly wouldn't want to be charging the ball up against him, but yeah, good to see Rowan Kelly make a bit of a break there too, winding back the clock, getting out wide.
Indeed.
I didn't know what he was doing out there, actually. I didn't know what was going on. I thought it was a bit of a ploy, but he ended up with the ball, and I think he fooled me and the South's defence.
Strong defence early on from both sides. Here at Townsend Oval, there's another error through strong defence. This time 5 metres inside the Lions' end of the field. Well, certainly rattling the Lions, the Butcher Boys in defence here.
You can't underestimate the wind at Townsend. You know, we're being so close to the coast that that breeze coming off the ocean always causes problems for the sides running into it. And one of the things you'll find at Townsend, it'll spin around. So when you think you've got it, you probably haven't. Well, there's a couple of times I remember in the last couple of years we've come and tried to run with the wind and actually ran into it twice. So it is a very deceptible type of wind and ground to play on.
So first set of 6 down inside the South Newcastle Lions. Full set of 6 coming up. Let's see if they can be the surprise packet to come up with first points here this afternoon. This is Liddon, goes across down to Morton. He takes the line on. Runs into the 11 in Brad Russell. He'll play the football back in the centre of the field. This is Wilson. Hard and straight down towards the 10-metre line. Delaney to the right-hand side. They're continuing to barge close. This is Rowan Kelly. 4th tackle coming up. They'll kick it off the boot. They're looking for Knott. Will he go up? Doesn't come down for Knott. Comes down for Bowen. But the Lions have the football on their own goal line. 2 metres out. So 7 minutes gone here on Bar TV. We're still locked up at 0-0.
All South need to do is get to their kick and put some pressure. We've played the whole first 7 minutes down in South's territory, and South probably just need to settle down. They're probably trying to be aggressive and upbeat, but it's just probably backfiring. They just need to get to their kick in this set.
Chris Marlborough named off the bench here this afternoon. Of course, him and Josh Allison going up against their old clubs today as well.
Chris Marlborough was quite an important part of South's season last year. I was pretty surprised when he actually left to go to Central, but obviously wanted a greater opportunity, and he's played a few different roles this year at the Butcher Boys, but I thought he's been one of their better players.
This is Tom Morton. And of course today they welcome back. Well, he's been with them for a few weeks, Cale Bowen. But of course, he was out for a number of weeks earlier in the season, so they'll be looking to get the ball to him in the centre position at every opportunity as well. Of course, the nephew of Matt Bowen, nicknamed the Big Mango. Back to the halfway line they come, the Butcher Boys. They're just going up through the middle of the field. The number 8 is with it. This is Cruz Wilson. Runs into Todd Hurrell. The 13 offloading out the back. They're keeping it alive, and that's what they need to. This time it's on the ground. Who wants to go back and collect the football? Speaking of Bowen, he's got the football now. And he's going to be hard to put down. They couldn't quite put him on his back. They're going to kick inside their own 40. Tommy Liddon bangs it downfield. Of course, the former Western Suburbs player now playing for the Butcher Boys here in the real NRL. So we've had 10 minutes of the match here, and the Lions, well, we haven't seen what they can do with the football so far, as the Butcher Boys haven't allowed them to cross their own halfway line. They're about to do that now. The 2 is with it. Pywell, good tackle over the top there from the number 2 in Jared Knott. He'll play the football 15 metres inside the Butcher Boys area. This is Liam Richards. Takes the tackle there under the land of Jace Delaney. Here's the penalty. First penalty, is it, to the Lions? 31 metres out from their Butcher Boys goal line, Craig.
Yeah, just going through this to and throw period, and I don't know what South are electing to do. Obviously, keep the pressure on and apply some pressure and try and get a repeat set. I think it's the order of the day. I just think both sides just need to settle down, and the points will come. Sometimes you try and score off every set, which I think both sides are trying to do at the moment.
So the ball goes into the Western touch line. This is Ryan Lippiett. Push back to his 10-metre line. Higgins goes from dummy half, looks up, he's got the support. Witters out to the number 8 in Richards. He's met there, centre of the field. Ball played back. Higgins, of course, from the New South Wales Cup with Manly last year.
He's a very good footballer, Pete. Very, very good footballer. If you watch everything they do out here, everything's coming off him. He's directing play. He's got a lot of Terrence Siu in him, where he looks left, plays right. He's got all the tricks.
This is Witters.
Funny to expect today with Scott Briggs being out that Liam Higgins' role becomes even more important to the side.
Absolutely. I think he's a quality player, and I'm just seeing out there that they're relying a lot on him, and that's fine. As long as they go forward, they'll give him plenty of options. I just worry about sides when they go sideways too early. When you've got quality 9s, you fall into the trap of going away from what works. And if they stick around Liam and go forward, especially with Wilson and Richards, I think they'll capitalise on that in the long run.
Just keep your eyes on how many players from the Lions coming up on the Bar TV replay went in on the Central Newcastle Butcher Boy. Here it is right now. I've counted at least 5. Keep your eye on them. Mathematics, definitely not one of my strongest subjects. Just keep an eye on this. This will keep on rolling. They just come from everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, half the squad, Craig.
Yeah, well, Pete, that's all enthusiasm, and they're the little things the 1%ers, the coaches are looking for. They want bodies in the tackle, and the modern game now expects 3, a minimum of 3 in the tackle. And if you're not doing that, the ruck's too quick. 10-metre rule says you get hurt. So, as a coach, I absolutely looking for numbers in the tackle.
As we see now, the 8 is with it. This is Cruz Wilson. 2-man.
He's had a strong start to the game, Cruz for Central.
Delaney's been busy as well from dummy half, looking to scoot at every opportunity.
As you were saying off air there, Barney, Jerome's going up against his brother, Cruz. So, I'm sure that either brother will want to win the front row battle today.
Yeah, look, I've liked both of them as footballers for a long time. Cruz has been around a little bit longer. I know I tried to get him at West a couple of years ago, but he was in the mines and couldn't be committed. But and Jerome, I watched in the rep side yesterday and had a really strong game, and backing up's not easy. So a really good little battle happening out there between the two brothers.
Okay. Butcher Boys just finding out where to take the tap. 10 metres away they are from the Lions goal line. Delaney directing traffic from dummy half. He's got the football back. Good move out to the right if they can come up quickly on them and stop it.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what the Lions have done. Who was that out there? Was it
Jared Edwards.
Jared Edwards.
Yeah, you've got to throw more, and in the modern game, you've got to do more than that television out the back stuff. You just watch. If you watch the South's defence, you just slide off it. Everything out the back, it's easy to read. You just slide off it. It's easy to defend, especially with a bloke like Edwards on the edge.
Delaney stretches out to get the football. They're going to go close. This is Daniel French. Last tackle coming up for the Butcher boys. Will they dribble into the end goal area and get the football back? That's exactly what they do, but it's not going to get the ball back. The Lions were awake to that tactic, and they're back into the field of play by 3 metres.
Yeah, poor last option there by Ryan Walker. He sort of obviously kicked it straight to him. He really needed to get that to the ground to get a repeat set or go for the try. But, yeah, I'm sure he'd like that kick again.
One of the things last premiership,
sorry,
Craig, was
Pete.
in 89.
One of the things I've picked up on, I'm really surprised. Tom Liddon is a quality footballer and had a lot of success of our club, won first-grade premierships. He was potent on the left-hand side. His left foot is dynamite. He's playing on the right side. I just don't know about that. If I was mad, I'd want to know why he isn't over on this side and using that left foot he's got at the line. He scored heaps of tries for us off that left foot.
Kick splits the fullback and the winger. Jared Knott collects the football. Well, we know that the oval here creates a lot of high bounce when that football does bounce up into your possession. We witnessed that a few weeks ago when South Lions played the Pickers as Morton runs onto it.
I think I'm going to start a really vicious rumour and say that Newcastle Rugby League are going to get their own ground and we can get away from these cricket pitches, but I might get into trouble by saying that.
You'd have a new ground.
The number 2 sports ground, I would reckon to be a nice new ground.
Apparently, that's a closed shop, but I'd like to see Newcastle Rugby League one day control their own destiny and we could have our games and we don't lose games. And obviously cricket pitches are an issue and they might be a thing of the past, and I think it's a time that we have our own rectangle ground that we can play on and call home, just like Rugby Union does at number 2.
Good catch out there from the Lions. Was that the hooker over there in the number 9 in Higgins? It was him. Of course, we mentioned throughout the other telecasts that we've covered with the South Newcastle Lions. He's come up from the Manly New South Wales Cup. I think he won the Player of the Year on 2 occasions down there with the Sea Eagles as well. Here's a penalty to the Lions. Craig, I was going to mention to you about how off-putting is it, with these buys and that, and especially when games are washed out. I mean, you guys would have trained throughout the week thinking that you would have had another game on Friday night, and then you get a call as late as midday that day and say, mate, you're not playing tonight, the game's called off. How does that affect the boys?
Good question, Pete. I'd like to put it out there that, there's a lot of suggestion that we called it off because our rep players are out. I can tell you that was the farthest from the truth in my mind. I had 9 blokes making their debut, and from my point of view, those 9 blokes should have had the opportunity to play first grade, and when they weren't given that opportunity, I think it was very disappointing. Because of the cricket pitch, there's obviously some issues there, and I know our club and the council are working towards a solution for that, but I'm worried about ongoing for the rest of the season, going into a winter where we're going to have that cricket pitch playing a big part in our season. It was definitely dangerous. It was definitely wet, and I have no problem with the council calling it off. I just felt sorry for the 9 debutants that I really wanted to give a chance to play first grade rugby league.
And I understand too, Craig, that the pitch area over there at Harker Oval, is it higher or is it lower than the rest of the field? There's a theory going around that it's possibly lower, I understand.
Yeah, look, they replaced the pitch in the off-season and something's happened. I'm not a gardener, so I don't really know. But what's happened is you can see it's dropped, and it's basically caused a 2-inch pool. It's distinct square 2-inch full of water at the moment. There's not a thing the club can do about it. They've tried the super sopper, they've tried the covers. It's just disappointing, and I know the council are committed to pulling it out after the footy season and doing it again, but that ain't going to help this season. And at the moment, I'm really concerned about washout games because they'll build up on us, and you don't want them coming into semi-final time.
No, definitely. Well, that, without a question, says that would believe the games to be played midweek, and then you've only got a 2 or 3 day turnaround, and especially towards the back end of the competition, it all adds up. So definitely a big consideration in years to come for the Newcastle Rugby League is to what do we do? Do we extend the rounds, have more buys, or do we just get on with it and play at better venues?
Well, I'd like to think we can get better venues. I know the council own and run the ground, and they're quite entitled to do what they did, and they did it on the basis of safety, and I completely get that. I know I spoke to Matt, and I think Matt's a pretty progressive type of CEO, and I'm sure him and his board will be looking at ways that we can one day, and it's not going to happen overnight, and I might not ever see it, but one day we can have our own rectangle and have our own centrepiece like Rugby Union do at number 2.
Okay. Interesting times ahead. Maybe they could dig into that $180,000 and put that back into the grounds. Of course, we know that everybody has to be paid from the CEO right down, but you'd think that in years to come we might be able to fix that problem. As we see now the error coming up for the Butcher Boys, well, for the Lions, and the Butcher Boys have it 10 metres out from their own goal line. So we've got a tight game unfolding here. 0-0 on the Bar TV scoreboard. With the football this time is Josh Allison. He runs into Liam Higgins, and he's out to the 30-metre line. He'll get up and play the football. Who will want the ball now? It comes back to the right-hand side. This is Rowan Kelly. He runs into the 11. Of course, that is Brad Russell. He'll play the football 15 metres in from that eastern touchline. Comes back to Cruz Wilson. He gets the legs going. Offloaded the ball out the back as well. This is Delaney. He runs it up towards the centre of the field. We caught it before he can't go any further, and he'll play the football. 20 minutes gone here at Townsend Oval. They're going to run it through their back line. Now they bang it downfield off the boot of Walker. The ball goes away from Johnson. He collects the football up now, 10 metres out from his own goal line. Looks up, and he's got Nathan Dwyer there right in front of him before he cannot go any further, and he'll play the football 13 metres out from his own goal line. This is the second tackle now for the Lions. Penalty, this will help their cause. Bit of a leg pull there. So 4-1, the penalty counts roughly to the Lions here. So they'll shoot for touch here, Josh Leeson, and find the line up around the 40-metre line. Yeah,
that was just stupid play there by Central. He's grabbed his leg and pulled him right around. And I don't know how he thought he was going to get away with that, but yeah, silly penalty. They had South pinned in their own half, and now they're going to give them easy possession on the 50-metre line.
Josh, I'd give the first 20 minutes to Central, to be fair. I thought they probably showed a little bit more, and I think South are showing signs of not having Briggs, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, totally agree there, Barney. They've pushed a few passes and dropped a lot of ball when they had the ball in Central's half. So, yeah, I think Central have definitely come here to play, and it's going to be in a very tight game.
Out the back it comes. This is Higgins. He got the ball away, and they dropped down 21 metres out from the Central line. Centre of the field again. Rotamar. The 4 is with it. This is Edwards flicking it out the back.
See, Nathan Dwyer's in a bit of trouble out here. He's gone down after making that tackle.
They're still going. Somebody will have to put him down. 5 metres away. Wilson will play the ball. Time off. Now, I've got a whisper, I don't know if this is 100% true, but Jerome Wilson's partner is pregnant at the moment, and the waters may burst any moment, Craig. So we might see Wilson not taking part if that happens at the hospital. Will that be a first in the real NRL, or has that happened there before?
Pete, I'm sure people's water bursts off them, but I don't really know what the procedure is, to be honest with you. I'm just here to call the footy, mate, and as far as I'm sure the big fella will get a message and he'll be off to the hospital as quick as he can if that's the case. It's good to see the referees. I was probably a little bit critical of Gavin West a couple of weeks ago when we had a few injuries when they had these head knocks. It's a big part of our game these days, and saw the young fella on the Central Coast yesterday with a head knock, and I don't think there's anything that...
what a ball, Craig, and there's the first try. Ryan Pye goes over. He's back from a broken finger, and he has opened the scoreboard up for the first time for the South Newcastle Lions. They lead 4-0.
Yeah, I think I said earlier in the South are renowned for wanting to always test you on that short side, and they've been down there a couple of times today and haven't come up with too much. But that time, Central just clocked off, and it was just a good barrel back down to the short side and find Pywell, who was quick and strong and can score a try. So it was a really good try. We're just seeing it now on the replay where Central really just had 5 minutes to get everything set, so they should be able to number up. But Liam's just jumped out, put Simpson back on a barrel line, cut out ball to Pywell, unmarked, easy try. Probably doesn't reflect the flow of the game, but you've got to be able to defend it.
Well, yeah, the last time we were here a fortnight ago to watch South and Maitland, Bo Simpson did the exact same thing, I think twice down in that same corner. He's pulled out a beautiful cut-out pass and showed a sort of a new part of his game, and he's done it again. So great work by the big man.
So first points in the 22nd minute to the South Newcastle Lions. And a big crowd has gathered here at Townsend Oval. A fair few more have rolled in.
There's a good
today.
1,000 here, Pete.
Yeah. Big numbers compared to the last time they played here against the Pickers. If you get 1,000, you're going well. Here's the kick, not so well off the boot there of Todd Hurrell. So they've come away with no conversion. So after 23 minutes, Souths leading by 4 points to 0.
No footy on today. Where else would you want to be, Pete, than Townsend Oval?
Sitting on a bench like this, fantastic. We'd all be here every Sunday if we could do it, eh, Craig?
This is quality. I'm sure the callers' quality and the facilities are outstanding, but you're not sharing them lollies over there. That's what I'm dirty about.
Do you like Smarties?
I don't know what they are, but I wouldn't mind one.
I was actually watching Fletch and Heine do a call last night of the Roosters. And
never take lollies off
Knights
children,
games.
Craig. You never know what might be in them.
They actually had cheesels and mint slices in the box, so a bit disappointed Bar TV hasn't provided that today.
Well, maybe we're trying to take keep up with a little bit of a comedy act here going and playing with lollies, but we better get back to the football, I think.
When the coach speaks, you do what you're told. Isn't that right, Josh?
I wouldn't argue with Barney Miller, that's for sure.
Of course, Western Suburbs Roselle is undefeated so far this season. As the Lions continue to come to the short side, they exploit a gap. Over the halfway line they roll. 16 minutes out from half-time. Here's a penalty, holding down in the tackle. So they've given away a few penalties like that this afternoon. Craig?
Yep. Look, if the short side's responsibility is the markers. The markers are the one that have got to count the heads, communicate with that winger, and he's the one that's got to shut it down. They've got the best defender on the football side on the sideline. There's no excuse why you should be able to get down there if the markers are doing their job properly.
We don't see a sight like that every day. Taking it forward there was the 3 in Lippiatt. Looks like one of the mummies out there with the headband around his head. Plays the football back 20 metres out from their own line. This is Witters. He sends it across field. They've gone left to right. Johnson's with the football. And he meets the tackle there of Jace Delaney. 5 metres out from the Butcher Boys line. This is Witters. They got space again to the right. Just a matter of putting it through the hands. They're over. Lippiatt. Has he scored? Referee says no try.
Yeah, I thought that was a fair call there. I thought he did knock that ball and it did propel the ball forward. So I'm going to say good refereeing there.
Well, last week there was a few dusty calls when we were here. We will have a look at the replay to see if our man in the middle has got this one right. The crowd saying it was touch and go. But this is it on the Bar TV replay. They attack the line. Well, touch and go?
Yeah, touch and go for me. I didn't see what Josh did, but he's a lot younger and got better eyes than me, so I'll go with him. But just on the referee, he's a young bloke that we had a couple of weeks ago, and I got a bit of time for him. He's an athlete, he's a young bloke, he's in the game, and I think it's a good appointment what Gavin's doing, giving these younger blokes a go.
So 14 minutes out from the half-time Oranges here at Townsend Oval. 4-0. A lot of people coming here expected a cricket score in the first half. Not the case. Central, to their credit, they're into this one. thus far. They've got a penalty. They'll shoot it into touch off the boot of Tom Liddon. And they find the line right smack bang in the centre of Townsend Oval, and that's where they take the tap. This is Mark McCauley inside the Lions territory by 5 metres. Practice that move, no doubt, at training. The 15 is with it. This is Brett Jarrett. 41 metres away from the Lions line. Delaney. They spin it to the eastern side. This is Liddon. He takes the line on. He comes down to the full back. He's still going. He'll score. First try to the Central. And what a great individual try to Tom Liddon. He took the line on. He backed his own ability. And he's gone all the way. 4-4 with a kick to come.
Yeah, quality try from the 7 there. Tommy's been a quality player for a long time. I've never seen a more committed local league footballer than him. An hour before training, you'll find him kicking balls. After training, he's doing something. He was a great loss to our club, and I know he spent a lot of time over at the Knights. And Rick Stone's got a bit of an opinion of him, and he's a good kid. And whether he makes the NRL or not, he's going to be a first-grade player in this competition for a long time. He showed a little bit more speed there. As I said, he's usually got very good footwork at the line, but that time he just showed a clean pair of heels and knew where the try line was and backed himself against a smaller fullback. And Central, as I said, have been right in this game right from the start. And 4-4 is a really close game and a true indication of how Central are playing.
Yeah, exactly. I really think that the problem that Central have had in the last couple of weeks has definitely been missing Tom Liddon. I mean, they probably haven't had a genuinely classy halfback for a long time in the club, and he had a couple of games at the start of the year before he broke his wrist, and great to see him back. I think he's going to provide a huge difference today for Central, and obviously already has.
Adam Bettrich is behind us here in the grandstand.
Pete, he can blow up, and I haven't heard him yet, so if Central put on another one, I'm sure we'll be copping plenty from behind us, because he can blow up, Adam. He's a lot better than me, they tell me.
Here's the kick from right out on the eastern touchline. Can they add the extras? Not with that attempt at conversion, so we're locked up here. 4-4 here on the Bart TV scoreboard. And wherever you may be watching our telecast here from Townsend Oval, we'll welcome you to the telecast. I know a few people are tuning in and clicking on from across the ditch in New Zealand and up through Phuket, and even somebody who is very close to Bar TV listening in through Cambodia. So we're back here live at Townsend Oval.
Yeah, I know the real NRL is huge in Phnom Penh, I've heard, so huge audience there.
It's huger than the NRL in Papua New Guinea. 15 metres out from the line.
Just on that, I think this is, whoever it is doing a game on a Saturday or a Sunday, and whatever rival we've got, this is a huge advantage to local league. And what this is providing as far as coverage is doing a mountain of work for our game, and it's great to see you blokes providing this opportunity to do this. And I know it's going down, and blokes all over Newcastle are loving it, and it's a really step in the right direction, I think.
I know Jade Porter always tells me that his mum in Moree always watches the show whenever it's on, and loves keeping in tabs with what Jade's doing. Obviously, you can't get to all the games here in Newcastle, but loves watching him play up in there in Moree.
And a big shout out to everybody who's listening live in the South Newcastle Leagues Club as well. You'll be loving what you're seeing right now. 10 minutes out from half time. Souths 4-4, 8 minutes remaining in the match in the first half. This is Hurrell. Looks to offload, but 4 in the tackle. Wrestle him into the ground. Centre of the field. The Lions on the attack. Last tackle. Where's the kick going to come? This is Johnson.
So it's a great example of no Briggs.
Yeah. Because Briggs not in the squad today. Possibly aiming to get back next week. But big shout out to everybody listening back at the South Leagues Club. It's on the big screen. A few people throughout the week mentioning on Twitter of course, you can hashtag Real NRL and hashtag Bar TV Sports and give us your thoughts on the coverage and wherever you may be clicking on and listening. We'll get to those tweets
that was
throughout the match.
And he continued around
To
it.
type one, it's
Just
4-all. And the referee is having a chat.
Josh,
to
I've
the
been really
Lions.
impressed with young Edwards, or not young Edwards, but Edwards since he's come over from Macquarie to South. He's really got a spring in his step this season. He seems a little bit fitter and a lot more wanting to play and a lot more aggressive and in the game. I think his move across here has been very good for him.
Yeah, well, I know Adam Bettridge was a big fan, and he chased pretty hard to get him over here. But yeah, I think he gives them a lot of, like, obviously with Teeson Fayolele, they had a really good centre on one side, and now they've got Jared Edwards. They're pretty potent on both sides of the field. And I mean, I've been really impressed with their back line in general this year, and I think, yeah, as you said, Jared Edwards has played a massive part in that success.
Yeah, I just like the enthusiasm he's bringing. You know, I've been watching him and always had an opinion of him. He probably just got in the rut out there and needed a change at home, and he really seems to be playing some really good football. And you know, I think he's brought something to the club. But I think they're a very complete football side now with a quality 9. Obviously, Briggs, Simpson, and Toddy Hurrell. I think you know, they're expecting a really high showing, and I'm certainly knocking on our door very shortly. We've still got the horror road trip across here to Townsend to do yet. We don't seem to have much luck with that, so they're going ticking along very nicely.
Strickleton in all sorts out there.
Yeah, looked like a holding his arm there. I'm not sure, it may be potentially broken arm or a wrist, or
Making his way off the
certainly
field.
a lot of pain.
This is it on the replay.
It looks like more like shoulder to me. You don't wave it around like that if it's a broken arm. I think it's more of a shoulder and probably a stinger.
Well, he's coming off, and going on to replace him will be Jack Welsh, I believe, in jersey number 16. Referee just waiting for Strickleton to come off before Jack Welsh runs on and takes his position in defence.
It's a dangerous little period for South here. Central are on the attack. You know, it's very important that what happens at half time is based on what type of feeling you leave the football field with. And Central leave, score a try here now. You know, the mood in that dressing shed is just absolutely on fire, and South's way to have their head down, and Adam's got to get it back up. So very crucial period of the game now.
Jace Delaney pushing back towards his own in-goal area, well, his own goal line. 25 metres out with the ball is Chris Marlborough. Trips over at the feet. Last tackle now for the Butcher boys. Penalty. Coach killer on the last tackle, Craig.
Coach killers, most penalties are coach killers. I don't know how to handle them very well, but I'll give the referee a rap a minute ago. His penalty count's jumping up. He's got that arm up working a little bit today, so I'd be interested in what the penalty count is.
4-all on the Bar TV scoreboard. Edging it to the left-hand side of the field. Can they offload? They do. It's on the ground. Scooped up. Bowen steps off the left foot, brushes off another one. Still going. Bowen. He's still straightening, and he's tackled 4 metres away from the line. Second tackle. Marlborough. Walker. Dummies. Succumbs to the tackle there of Simpson. Morton kicking it early towards the end goal area. He nearly got there and he nearly scored. Just couldn't quite bang it down. Referee here. Well, half the squad, half the crowd, not 100% sure what he's doing, but we'll see what actually happened as we see it unfold on the Bar TV scoreboard replay coming up very shortly. But we do know it's going to be a goal line dropout to South, and Butcher boys, they'll get the football back. Here's the replay.
It's a big call this. I didn't see this like this. It was a kick for probably nobody except himself, and he's gone through, and geez, I don't know where South's got a hold on that. This is a big call, and they're going to have to defend this one, South.
Looked like a knock on a Central, if anything.
Brett Jarrett has the football for the Butcher boys, 21 metres away from the South Lions goal line. This is Delaney. Out the back the ball comes. Morton flicking it. Did that go forward? Referee said play on.
That's a coach killer there, Pete. 4 minutes to go. You get the call you want underneath the post and then play through your pushing passes there. That's what kills coaches.
As the Lions, with 4.5 minutes remaining in the first 40 minutes of the match, we're locked up at 4-all on the Bar TV scoreboard. Here's a penalty, and it's on. Don't know if I've seen any punches thrown, maybe a bit of push and shove. We'll look at that on the replay to determine if anyone had let the few go.
It was just a lazy tackle from Jarrett. He creeped up and obviously Simpson does what Simpson normally does. He makes sure that the opposition know that they're in a game of football and come in and exerted his authority. So not much in it, but we'll just see it here on the replay. We're just seeing a lot of pushing. Simo's showing his normal aggression, which is fine, and not much in this. But again, we'll come back to that error. We've got a penalty. Souths are going to go on the attack, and that was a crucial error by Central.
Shoot for touch. And they find the line.
It just multiplies the early area, doesn't it? They've got the ball, they've knocked on, and they followed it up with a high shot. Suddenly Souths are on the attack, and they could be the next try scorer and go into half-time with the lead. Yeah,
compounding the error. And one of the things that coaches talk about now is defending the error. But if you keep making errors, it gets harder and harder to defend an error. So, you can just see how this game in 2 minutes has gone from in control, going to score a try, to now we're under the pump.
This is Todd Hurrell, driven down there by Josh Allison. Higgins. Rottamar. Walker wraps up Johnson, plays the football. Where's the kick going to come? There it goes, into the in-goal area. Morton has it covered, and Hurrell has him covered as well. 5 out from his own goal line.
Yeah, it's just, again, no Briggs, so the victim of trying to go sideways, not punched holes in them, and easy to defend, so probably a nothing set from South, to be fair.
Crowd saying lost it. Bar TV pictures revealed he was able to hang on to the football. Here's a penalty. Minutes out from half time. So they're not going to waste any time at all. And they're going to bang it into touch and go on the attack up around the halfway line.
By my stats, it's about 13 penalties in the first half. So, it's probably not what you want to see in a first grade game, a high penalty count like that, but I'm sure he knows what he's doing, the young fella.
Macaulay on his back on the edge of the cricket pitch. Delaney. 1.5 minutes remaining. Marlborough, Wilson, Liddon, Kelly. 25 metres away from the Lions goal line. Cruz Wilson.
Yeah, good run.
Bashes and barges his way down inside the 20. Marlborough spinning it through the back line again. Walker goes himself. He's got his full back in Morton. Takes a tackle there of Ryan Pywell. 12 metres out. Last tackle now for the Butcher boys. Liddon kicking, looking for his winger. Ball may go up, it does. And over the dead ball line it goes. So back out to the 20 for a tap restart. 1 minute left in the match. 4-all unfolding here at Townsend Oval in the round 3 washout match. Here's the replay.
Yeah, +2 kick always brings the defence forward, and then what that does then is isolates the winger. So good kick, pinpoint on the try line, good chase, lucky to get away with that, South.
This is Simpson in 12. 40 seconds remaining in the first 40. 4-all. It's a tight one unfolding, so don't go anywhere for the second 40. We're going to be in a ripper, as we see now. The Lions over the halfway line.
Jeez, that was nearly disastrous there for South. Just the bounce of the ball just avoided the central player, would have had an open line.
This is Hurrell. Centre of the cricket pitch. Higgins spinning it wide. Siren goes in the background. Edwards, they're going to kick it, but the ball has gone into touch. And that's all she wrote for the first 40. So a tight one unfolding here at Townsend Oval. You're listening to Bar TV's coverage with Craig Miller, Josh Leeson and Peter Jolly in the commentary box. Before we go to the break, thoughts of the first 40 minutes, Craig?
Yeah, pretty even affair. Both sides are pretty willing. A bit scrappy and a few too many penalties for the crowd's liking. But, we've got a contest here and, it's enjoyable. It's good to watch. I think Souths are really missing Briggs. But if they roll through their big forwards, I still think young Higgins will still sort the game out in the end.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think I've been pretty impressed with Central. I think they've really troubled South at times, but they've probably, obviously, they've given away some penalties and dropped the ball at crucial times when they really could have put the foot on the throat and taken the lead. But, South, even without Briggs, I think they'll still get home on the back of their superior forward pack.
Okay, there you go. The thoughts of Josh Leeson from the Newcastle Herald. And, of course, you'll be able to read all about this match in tomorrow's edition of the Newcastle Herald. So we'll take a break and we'll come back to Townsend Oval. If you've just tuned in to the coverage, we're locked up. It's 4-4 between Souths and Central. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Townsend Oval. If you just tuned in, clicked on, it's 4-all between Souths and Central. It's a tight game, not much in it. Will South Newcastle's experience come to the fore in the second 40? Or will the Central Newcastle Butcher Boys do what many people coming here today thought they couldn't do, create an upset? So we're just waiting now for South Newcastle Lions to come back out onto the field. Here they come. Todd Hurrell leads the side out. Behind him, Liam Richards, Bo Simpson. The three, the bandage around his head, is Ryan Lippiatt. Good first half from Ryan Lippiatt.
I think Barney just got a half-time report there from Adam Bettridge.
Yeah, I just had a quick yarn to Adam, and me and Adam swap a few opinions about footy. He's a great bloke and a great coach, and he just told me in only Adam's way that he wasn't real happy with their first half performance and was pretty critical. So I would expect to see a very fired up South side for a little while yet. Okay,
so let's see what they can do. A fired up Souths. Expect that. Gee, the snipers are out. Dean McBain absolutely fell over. Smack bang on his backside on the halfway line.
That's that cricket pitch, Pete.
Yeah, slippery underneath, definitely. Let's see what they can do. This is Wilson, charges back. You've got a contest on their hands. With anything to go by, that run from Wilson, certainly an inspirational run for the Butcher Boys. And on the second tackle, and they're back out to their own 40-metre line. So a good start here for the Butcher Boys. Up to the halfway line. As the lights come on here as well from Townsend Oval, they're going to kick outside the 40, off the boot of the 7, and of course, downfield they go. What will they do now? First tackle coming up for the Lions. 4-all. First minute of the second half.
We've got the lights on here, Pete. It's getting dark.
Just getting dark. A few showers coming across too as we have a look at the Bureau on our computer screen as well. They've hit Swansea, so points could be vital in the next 35 minutes. So one of these sides hoping and praying they can get off to a good start in the opening minutes. This is the Lions to the halfway line. That's a good run. More runs needed like that. As we see now, the Lions advance it through the middle. The 8 is with it. This is Liam Richards. He'll get up and play the football. Last tackle now. Where will it go? Comes back then out of Witters. He's going to put in a big kick. Nielsen is looking at it, but Nielsen says, no, I'm not going to catch the football. I think that was Tommy Morton who finally got underneath it, and he's come down with it. He's diffused that situation. As we see now, they're coming off their own 10-metre line.
Now, Craig, just putting your coaching hat on for a minute. What would you told the Central and the South boys if you'd been coaching them at halftime, and how do you think they're both going to approach this second half?
Well, obviously Adam's disappointed. You know, he's got a quality football side out there, and they probably haven't executed quite as well, and they've probably missed some opportunities and looked a bit clunky without Briggs out there. On the other hand, I think the other dressing shed, Matt Lantry, be absolutely ecstatic. You know, there's a lot of times this year he's been looking at 17 blokes that have been behind the scoreboard by 20, 30 points. So to be 4-all against South Townsend, he'd be giving full of positives. So there'd be two different messages getting out there, all positive from Central, and obviously Adam would be really challenging their execution and their commitment at the moment.
The South Newcastle Lions second on the competition ladder on 14 points coming into this round. Well, of course, this is the round 3 washout clash. Western Suburbs leading the way, undefeated. It's great to have Craig Miller, Rosella's coach, in the commentary box yet again in season 2014. This is the Lions with the football. What can they do? Rottimer kicking. Can he get it back? No. At the back there was Morton, and he's been wrestled into the ground there by the 4 in Jared Edwards.
Yeah, not a bad idea there by Jared Rottimer. It was, I think, a couple of weeks ago he used a similar kick too that resulted in a try. Probably just overhit it a bit and gave the Tom Morton, the central fullback, a little bit too much space. But yeah, not a bad idea.
Hitting hard again in defence The Lions, Marlborough, started the season in first grade in the run-on squad, I should say, finding his way onto the bench as they go out wide now. This is the ball on the ground, picked up, could be play on, and the referee says that's exactly what he will do. So that is the third tackle. Back there now to Delaney. He takes the line on. He comes down to the fullback. Where's the support? No support came. Last tackle coming up now for the Butcher boys. They're on a roll. Back it comes now. This is Liddon. Great catch there by the Lions. Who was that? Liam Higgins? 5 out from his own goal line.
Both hookers for both sides have been the best players on the park, and young Delaney, I watch him week in, week out, and he's underrated. He gives 110% every week, and he's a great little footballer. And obviously Higgins is a quality player coming back to our competition. So I've just probably been disappointed in Tommy Liddon's last 2 kicks of the first half. One found the winger on the full, and that one probably didn't get the result. But here we go. This is going to open it up for Central to have an opportunity.
Forward pass here.
The old commentator's curse there, just when you're wrapping up Liam Higgins, he's given away a forward pass from dummy half.
Yeah, apparently that happens in the big time with this commentary stuff, and flows through to us amateurs too. So anyway, we'll see what happens.
Here's the replay.
Oh yeah, take that back. It wasn't Liam Higgins, it was actually the halfback.
When I say we're amateurs, the steak sandwich that Pete provided at half-time was more than enough for my payments for today's effort.
Sirloin steak, only the best for the best coach in the real NRL.
You always look after me, Pete, so I like coming back and helping you out with this.
How are those minties, Craig, by the way? Nice.
Lollies are outstanding. I shouldn't be eating too many.
Got to look after your cholesterol. As we see now the halfway line. We'll come to you after this. I want to get your thoughts on another particular subject which is doing the rounds, Craig. Place the football, the Butcher boys. Which way will they go? They work the left-hand side of the field, barging their way down to the goal line. Jarrett is close. He's on his back. 6 minutes gone here. And Bart TV. Marlborough goes from dummy half and scores! Well, how good is he? Off the bench, into the squad, and he has scored the try that puts them to the front. They lead by 8 points to 4 with a kick to come.
The most dangerous man on the field is the bloke with the football, and South forgot that then, and obviously just didn't account for a very soft try. And again, I know Adam would be filthy with a soft try like that. That's one of the ones that coaches absolutely hate. And if we look at that on the replay, great run by Brett Jarrett. Had him on his back, so the play of the ball was slow enough. But the bloke with the play the ball is the one that you need to look after. And Toddy Harrell and Tupu have just gone up too hard, and soft try in the end. Yeah,
he's usually very good defensively, Todd Harrell, but he'd certainly be upset about that. It was a poor miss, and easy try, very soft try for Central, and now they're going to be up 8-4 with a kick to come.
Well, Chris Marlborough, broken neck, wasn't it back in 2006, 2007? They thought he might have never played the game of rugby league, but he's back in the real NRL and leading the way in the early stages of the second half. Can he convert his own try? That's the question. Looks good off the boot. It's a ripper. So Central, is there an upset on the cards? They lead by 10 points to 4.
Yeah, what South need to do, I know they're in a bit of a tough situation here where they haven't got their playmaker and they're probably doing it a bit tougher than what they like. But what you need to do 30 out is not panic. Get to your kick, play your corners, be patient, build pressure. It's very simple. It's hard to execute.
Well, there's the kickoff. It's gone down into the in-goal area, and the Butcher boys, they're lifting with every bring back of the football. Can they keep it going for the next 32 minutes? That is the question. As the South Newcastle Lions come in defence. Over there was Ryan Lippiett. This is Brett Jarrett in 15. Runs it Liam Higgins. And also Todd Harrell. Marlborough in a dummy half. Spinning it through the back line. Running it up towards the halfway line they come. Rodamar's over the top. The 4 is with it. This is Josh Allison. in the former South Newcastle Lion. Goes down. Knows this ground, no doubt. Back to the kick now. Off the boot of the 7 in Tommy Liddon. They've lost the football at the back. That has surely gone forward. And the referee says yes, it has.
Great set after points. They rolled that out 60 metres. Tommy got the floater that he was looking for off the boot, and a great set after points. Exactly what you need to do. And now they've got another opportunity to go further in front.
Well, Coach Petrich nowhere to be seen in the grandstand.
I can hear him.
He's on the sideline somewhere. He needs to be down there, revving his side up. There he is, down there with the trainer, down by the athletics track. Doesn't want to go on the grass, doesn't want to get those boots wet, but we see now a vital set of 6 coming up in defence for the Lions as the Butcher boys take them on. 10 metres away from the goal line. Central leading by 10 points to 4. Marlborough burrowing from dummy half. Inching closer to the goal line. This is Rowan Kelly. Liddon. Walker. Overlap out wide. Jarrett takes the line on. Runs into Ryan Lippiott. He'll get up and play the football. 8 metres out from the Lions line. The 13 is with it. McBain bashes and barges his way towards the Lions goal line. Lost the football. Well, he wanted a quick play to football, and he's just taken his eyes off the football.
Yeah, let off there for South. Central looked at him on the right side and then went across to the left, and obviously was just looking to roll that into the in-goal then. It's a big let off for South. They just need to get some composure and get to their kick and settle this game down, because they're Central has certainly got their backs up at the moment and really coming after the victory.
Back to live pitches here at Townsend Oval. Lions. Have they dodged a bullet there? As we see now, they come outside their own 20-metre line. The 5 is with it. Joe Layton. He'll play the football back. Up towards the 40-metre line. And he more runs similar to this one. Led there by the 4 in Edwards. 5 short of the halfway line. This might be a penalty. It is. The crowd, they'll have to get behind their locals. Just like you witnessed right there from the crowd effects, Mike. Crowd certainly coming into this. They're revved up. And no doubt they're all revved up back at the South Leagues Club, listening to this coverage.
Yeah, I heard Chrissy Lee's down there yelling out like a pork chop. He got the penalty for him.
So they take the tap, and with the ball is Layton. He's still going, Layton. Close to that Western touch line. 5 in. The 16 is with it. This is Welsh. 18 metres out from the line. Rodimer. Back on the inside. They're going close. 14 metres out from the line. Up to the 10. Now down inside the 5. Higgins. Rodimer. He takes the line on. And Kelly's there to bang him down. Welsh finds himself in a dummy half. Hurrell. Ball and all tackle there from McBain. This is Higgins. Numbers to the right-hand side. Overlap out wide. They go for the line. Layton. Has he scored? We'll keep an eye on the referee. He goes in the corner. Well, they're coming back. They had the numbers, and it's proved over there to be a 4-pointer.
Another quality finish by Poss Pywell. He's a great little footballer, and he finds the line. And it was a good pass. I don't know if it was from Simpson, a cut-out pass, but it just got onto the outside. Had a lot to do to finish it. We'll just see it again on the replay. Todd Hurrell's lucky to get away with that play the ball. He never got off to his feet, but it goes out on a +2. Yeah, it was Simpson, cut-out pass. A lot to do for Pywell. Too strong. Finds the line a hell of a lot. He's a quality winger and getting better every season.
Yeah, it was a great play. It was a jersey swap. He was named in number 5 going into this match. Found his way back into the 2 jersey, Ryan Pywell. As we mentioned, he's only had a few games back from a broken finger, which has kept him out of action. I think it was against the Pickers. He didn't go around in that match. Last week, of course, Souths, just to keep you updated, they defeated Curry 36-10. Next week, South will play Port Stephens, while Central take to the field against Lakes United. Here's the kick from right out on the eastern touchline. They don't come much tougher than this. It's coming back around, but just short. So no change on the Bar TV scoreboard. We've got a game, we've got a contest. It's 10-6.
Yeah, I just see this game going to open up for the last 20-25 minutes. I don't think we're going to end up with 10-8 scoreline. I think both sides are starting to throw it around, and I can see a lot of points coming in this last 20 minutes. I think we're going to see some good footy from both sides. I think they're willing to toss it around. The hard work's been done, and both sides are now coming for the win.
Well, there's that bouncing football. It might go into touch. It does. Touch judge raises his yellow flag. So a 2-point ball game here at Townsend Oval. 10-8.
That's what I say. See Dan Toller, former Knights prop, working the sidelines and carrying the drinks these days for Central. Geez, he's looking thin. Very, very trim.
He's a good man, Dan. He was a very hard-working front row, and he's dropped some weight. And I spoke to him when we were out at Central a couple of weeks ago, and he's really enjoying himself. It's good to see quality players like that involved in the local league. I saw Clint Newton and Kurt Gidley downstairs, so there's still a lot of interest in the local league from the Knights players.
Malborough, he wants a penalty, didn't come. Bashing and barging again down to the 10-metre line. Central will receive a penalty here.
What do you do here, Josh?
At 10-8, I don't think there's much to be earned by getting a 4-point lead. I'd go for the try.
Certainly put the pressure on.
And that's exactly what they are doing. Through Daniel French. Todd Hurrell wraps him up. 15 minutes gone, second half. Walker, they go short. Butcher Boys down to the 10-metre line. 10 in from the eastern touchline. Marlborough. They're up quickly on McBain.
Great defence. If you want to see one thing on your football side from the try line is line speed, and that's a rep player showing exactly how to lead his football team.
He's feeling that too, D. McBain. That certainly stung.
I know he had a lot of sternum problems for us last year, and he carried that right through the season. He's a tough bugger, but he might have got him in the right spot then when he flew out and discollected him in that area. So, Dean is carried that for most of the time I've been with him at West. So I'm hasten to say that he's got one in the same area.
But Jerome Wilson over the top in 17.
Although I think they're treating a leg.
Well, he kind of twisted around as he got hit, so maybe he's twisted the knee somehow.
Yeah, it'd be a cruel blow to Central and Dean if he's any too serious. He's been probably their standout player all year.
Of course, former Western Suburbs Rosella. Not looking the best in Central colours right now here at Townsend Oval. Both trainers are with him. Time off here, so the clock has stopped. We've had 16 minutes and 25 seconds. It's a close one.
Can't really see what's going on, but the only thing you'd be taping at the moment is an ankle. He wouldn't be taping a knee, so he must have rolled his ankle. We'll just see when he gets up where all that tape's going, but he's certainly getting a lot of work done there at the moment.
Craig, whilst we've got a stoppage in play, as you know, you don't believe everything you read on social media, but there has been doing a fair bit of talk recently about the real NRL switching games back to a Saturday. Are you hearing that? Yeah,
no, I think Matt's done the right thing, and he's gone and spoke to every club and got their opinion on what's the best way going forward, and I think you'll find that there's a consensus out there in the local competition that Saturday's got a lot of potential. It certainly will help those outer clubs like Nelson Bay that probably are are struggling to attract a player. And I know my club and maybe South aren't that keen on Saturday games, but we're certainly supportive of whatever the comp needs to make sure that we have as many participants as we can. So I'm sure Matt will come up with the right answers.
Walker. Back to Liddon. Ball's high. Comes down for the Butcher boys. And they've come away with the Lions 4 metres out when they get the ball back. Well, they've diffused that. Just
getting back to the whole debate over what day of the week we should be playing these games. To me, I think that the current system works well. I like the idea that you can get a couple of games on the Saturday, a couple on the Sunday. That way you can potentially go to 2 games a weekend. You get, from a media point of view, you get greater media coverage if you spread the games around. Also, people obviously like to go to other people who actually play in the real NRL, like to watch games as well. And I think different clubs have different priorities. Some clubs obviously need like Saturdays to get better gate takings, beer sales. I know obviously Newcastle West and South, they prefer your Sunday games when there's less on in Newcastle. So I think I'd like to keep it the way it is and allow the clubs to make their own choice.
So Central here, we'll stick with this, we'll come back and we'll finish that discussion after this set of 6. As you can see now, Liddon, he takes the line on, he's been picked up and driven into the Townsend Oval. 8 metres out from the Lions line. Central, 2-point margin in front. They come up quickly on Delaney. Hurrell over the top. Along there with Simpson. 10 metres away. Again, this is French. Short to the left, the Lions. Last tackle now. The Butcher boys. Where will it come? They're going to kick it in the end goal area. The ball was well cut off there by Johnson. Penalty to the Lions as well.
It was not a bad set, but you can see the commitment from South off their line. I just worry about the ball in the air too long from Central. The pass from the 9 to the 7 to the 6 is too long, and then what that does is allows the opposition to buy metres off their try line, and probably for mine just shorten things up a little bit. But good to see South are really up for the challenge.
Is it on the replay? Just going back to the potential Saturday clashes. Has the real NRL indicated that the games will be spread on, from 3 o'clock all the way through to, say, 7 o'clock kickoff? Surely it wouldn't be all 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday?
I think Matt hasn't made a decision. I think what he's going to do is go back and see what works for each individual club. And I think what you'll find is one shoe won't fit all. Each club will be encouraged to do what's best for their club and support those clubs that need to play on a Saturday, and we certainly will. Me being a bit of a punter and a Saturday man, I certainly don't want to be playing too many Saturday games because I like watching the GGs, but as far as other clubs, I totally understand.
This is Jace Delaney with the football. 20 minutes to go in the match. The 12ers with it. Rowan Kelly charges at Jared Edwards.
He's been a good leader for them for a couple of years now. He's really a club man, and he's really stuck with the club when they're going through tough times, and it's good to see him out there with a quality football side around him.
French, up the middle of the field he goes.
Yeah, it certainly would surprise me to see Rowan Kelly one day coaching Central. I know he certainly does love the club, and he's thought of quite highly too amongst people at Central, so it wouldn't surprise me if when he retires in a year or two that you could see him taking up the coaching clipboard.
Close they are, but no cigar. Turnover back to the Lions on their own goal line.
I'm a bit of a fan of running it on the last. I think I've spoke about that before, that the kick on the last now over the back doesn't encourage you to do that anymore. So running it on the last and dying with the ball a metre out is not so bad these days.
Best tackle of the match so far. The plays have come from everywhere. Bit of a swinging arm from the 19. I think you'll find the 19 will be in trouble. We don't have him on the program here.
That was an average tackle, and I'd love to see the competition and Newcastle Rugby League have the ability to cite players and use the video review and the facilities we've got now with all this television cameras and that at our games. I know I talk about it every year, it doesn't happen, but there is a great example of a serious injury that could happen. If we have a look at on that, if you see the tackle, it's a good strong tackle. He hasn't meant to do anything, but that is serious tackle, and I know something really needs to be done to protect our players when this type of injury happens.
Well, Chris Marlborough, the man in question there. Pitches, definitely.
You see what you've got here, Pete, is everybody watches the NRL on television, and we see less incidents or worse incidents than that happen, and everyone's expecting more, and in the local competition you see that, you expect more, and I totally agree with the fans. We shouldn't have that in our game, and it should be penalised and punished.
So you're saying you would have liked to see him sent off for that tackle?
I'm not into send anyone off. I'm into the ability to review the tackle. I'm sure we've all got all this technology in front of us now, and it can't be too hard for our officials on a Saturday morning to get in there, and if there's an incident that needs to go on to report to look at, that's when you should be doing it.
My understanding was that that was being brought in, that they actually were going to start citing people from the video, but that's not happening.
I haven't seen it happen, Josh. It'd be a question for Matt, and whether now that he's down with John leaving, whether the troops are just a bit thin on the ground and they've got bigger things to do at the moment. But I certainly think it's an evolution and involvement that Newcastle Rugby League certainly need to look at it. That's a great example just there.
Yeah, well, exactly. I think I wrote an opinion piece last year after Joel Brown got penalised or three-match ban for punching Jake Hawkins in the face, which left him with a fractured eye socket and put him out for the season. He initially wasn't going to be cited and would have played in the Rebels game that week, but except for the fact that South actually chose to cite him themselves, which I think it's pretty stupid when you leave it up to the club to cite other clubs, because we know that way sport works. You're not going to. Clubs don't want to be citing other clubs. It comes back to bite them one day as well.
I totally agree. From my point of view in our club, we don't get involved in that citing situation. What stays on the field, there's officials out there that are supposed to police it. We don't police it on a Monday and Tuesday, so if it's not done then, from my point of view, it's not the club's responsibility, it's the league's responsibility, and I just like to see them take advantage of this technology that's sitting in front of me right now.
No doubt Matt Harris be getting a call on Monday from Josh Leeson. Follow that up in the Newcastle Herald. As we see now, Marlborough.
Pete, I don't think we're trying to be controversial.
No.
I think you got a lot of people here, and it's our game, and we're trying to just produce something that's a great product, and we're all very passionate about the local footy, and I just think it's an involvement that we can handle. I don't think it's too hard.
Well, you're especially right. I mean, for a long time we've only had one camera, if that, here at a rugby league game. Now we've got 2 or 3 cameras coming from every angle. So as you say, why not use the technology? It's there. Why not use it? Makes life a hell of a lot easier.
Well, the real NRL's already buying a copy of every game in all grades from Bar TV, so they've got the footage there, so it's certainly easy enough for them to review it. So, yeah, exactly. I think Barney's 100% right. They should be reviewing these things, and I'm not saying that guy should face a suspension for that tackle, but it certainly should be looked at to see if the judiciary want to go down that path.
And we're living in a world now of social media as well, and everything that you see on screen can be tweeted. So, the Newcastle Rugby League certainly have to look at how social media and pictures and technology can only be a factor in how they can go forward. So here's a scrum, I should say, going down here. 5 short of the halfway line. You'll see it coming up on the Bar TV replay fairly shortly of what actually happened here. Here it is now, Craig.
It's just pushing the pass. Again, didn't need to be thrown, the offload, and ball at his feet, and he drops it. Again, I just haven't seen either side settle down. I said when it was 10-8, we're going to see a lot more points, and everyone's going to start playing footy, but we're still in this tit for tat, and it's going to come down to some special effort here, I think, the end, because neither side seems to know how to get through their sets and structure things up properly.
Marlborough back to Wilson, charges it over the halfway line, down to the 40. Marlborough picks the football up, gives it away to French. Wilson's over the top. Marlborough. Back to Wilson. He takes the line on. 22 metres away from the Lions goal line. Allison stepping. Takes a 3-man tackle. Chris Marlborough again.
Got one over the top, didn't he?
Yeah, he's clutching towards that left ankle as well. Play on. This is Liddon kicking in towards the end goal area. They're not going to get back into the field of play. Goal line dropout. Perfectly weighted kick there from the Butcher boys.
Tommy Liddon showed a little bit of class there, and he went to the line, went deep, brought everyone forward and threaded it through for a nice little touch. It's a quality effort and rewarding to the Butcher boys. I wouldn't be surprised if I see him go across here. I just see South starting to walk a little bit.
Yeah, with the sort of 14 minutes left, you see Tom Liddon now being essential to get Central home by getting him around the park, putting those kicks in, getting the repeat sets.
At the moment, the way the game's going, we're probably looking at the best 7 at the moment to win the game, and Central have got the best 7 out there at the moment. So I haven't seen Higgins come into the game at the second half, which I expected him. So I really see probably Liddon's now the crucial player to both sides.
As Central now go inside the 20. 14 minutes remaining in the match.
Yeah, a lot of inexperience in the South halves today, of course, and Jared Rodimer and Steve Withers. Rodimer's only new to first grade this year, and Withers is first time he's ever played halfback from my knowledge. So, yeah, I think that's going to be. It's actually proving right now that it's been a bit of a disadvantage for the Lions.
4 metres away, leading by 2. Penalty. Will he go to the bin?
What do you do, Josh?
I'd go to tap. As I said before, I don't think 4 points is any real difference. And keep the pressure on. I mean, if they get a try here, they're I wouldn't say they're home, but they're certainly taken one giant leap towards that gold.
This is Liddon. Short ball away to Kelly. Will he get it down? He does. That's a try to Rowan Kelly. Is that the game winner? 12 minutes to go, but it'll go a long way towards 80.
Well, there you go. Maybe I should be a coach. What about that analysis?
I think we've just found Miller's new assistant coach. Welcome Josh Leeson to the Rosellas Common.
They pay pretty good over at West, don't they? So it wouldn't be a bad job.
No, I don't know about that. They're a very good club, and they. But that was a good call, Josh. It was, again, we spoke about how crucial and critical his Rowan is to this football side, and he just showed there what a captain should do. He run hard and straight and come off a Liddon pass again where we said that he was going to be critical to the result of the game, and there's just too much commitment there. He went over a couple and took one over the line with him, and that's just pure passion for the jersey there.
Yeah, no, great to see Rowan Kelly score a try. He's one of those classic real NRL types. Loves the game. You always see him out at games. All the other local sports actually. He's at the rugby quite a lot. Just loves it all. So yeah, great to see him score what could be a potentially match-winning try for the Butcher boys.
I think people forget that Rowan played for the Knights, played all right through his juniors with the Knights. So he was a quality young fella growing up, and he's still played a lot of first grade football, played a lot of first grade football for Wyong.
Yeah, won a premiership with Wyong.
Won a premiership with Wyong, and now he's doing a great job with Central. So, it's great to see him being part of Central's improvement.
Well, Adam Bettridge, as we sit at the top of the telecast,
he'll jump off his grandstand.
He said that his side were the underdogs. Remember that on Twitter yesterday? Maybe he knew something we didn't know.
I'm pretty sure he was joking, but I'm sure he won't be joking right now.
He'd be suicidal.
Praying up the back of the grandstand. 12 minutes remaining here on Bar TV. Central up by 8.
Do you think South may have taken Central a little bit lightly? I know they've obviously been on a bit of a streak and playing some great footy. Do you subconsciously come into these games, and even though you're probably doing all the same things, and obviously your attitude is still there, but subconsciously sometimes you take these games a little bit more lightly?
Of course, the human mind does funny tricks, and us coaches talk about it every week. We see it coming. I'm sure Adam would have been all over attitude this week, but they've had a really tough month too, South. So, you can't beat at the same standard week in, week out. You're going to have ups and downs. It's just a matter of managing that, and I think South is probably on a little bit of a flat spot here at the moment, and that's fair enough. They've been playing some great football late, so I'm not surprised to see this. I'm sure Adam will be dirty with it, but one loss, you'll roll on, and you move on pretty quickly to the next week.
I think it just proved too how important Scott Briggs is to this team. I mean, he did play that first loss they had against West, and he was very ordinary that day. And ever since then, he's been playing terrific. And surprise, surprise, South have won all those games. So I think he's absolutely essential to this football team. Yeah,
and what that also does is when the opposition know that he's not there, what it does for them. So it it has a double effect on. Your side loses a quality football and the other side jump up a peg or two because they know that you're not out there, that quality play's not out there. So it's a double whammy to the coach.
This is Simpson. 12 metres away. On the last tackle, the Lions. Higgins. Going to kick it into the end goal area. Where's the chasers? Could be an error at the back. It is! That's a try to Todd Hurrell. Hurrell scores. Well, are they back in the match? The fans certainly think they are, and hopefully the players believe they are. 16-12, kick to come.
Yeah, I think there's some twists to go yet. We've still got 9 minutes to go. It was a good set. There probably wasn't too much in it, and Central would probably should have defended that one and dissolved it. But we just saw in the replay. Nice little touch in behind the end of the fence. 1, 2, 3 attempts for Central to clean it up, and Toddy's two there. Toddy does what Toddy does. He's always thereabouts, working hard on the inside, and has got rewarded there to put South back in the game.
Well, he picked up a try last week against Curry, and another one here today, an important one. So don't go anywhere. This game will go right down to the wire. Here's the kick. Ball is being placed 15 metres in from that eastern touch line. The lights are on, taking effect. Taking their time with the kick. 7 minutes remaining. Here in the round 3 washout. A hush goes over the ground. Looks good off the boot. It's a ripper. Flags go up. 2-point ball game, 6 to go. Who do you put your money on?
Geez, I don't know. I'm not much good at all that predicting stuff, but I'm still going to probably go with Tommy Liddon and Central, to be fair. But it wouldn't surprise me South sneak home in the deaf and make it a real cliffhanger. I probably swapped allegiance about 10 times today.
Back underway here. The kick goes deep. 7 minutes remaining. 2-point ball game unfolding here in Merriweather. Souths looking to keep the momentum going. Can they snatch another try and walk away with the 2 competition points? Central Newcastle Butcher Boys. They wouldn't want anything of that, but they need to hang on. Have they got it in them? Can they lift in defence to hang on? Central in numbers in the tackle as South Newcastle have the football. This is Higgins. He scampers from dummy half. He sees a gap. Wilson around the chest.
And Liam Higgins is starting to really scheme from there from dummy half, obviously with the game now on the line. So if he keeps going like that, I would expect South will get home here.
This is Higgins again, back out the back to Rodimer. Little kick in between the fullback and the winger. Nielsen's got the football. Beat 1, beat 2. Can't get rid of the 3rd. And he's down on his back. 15 metres out from their own goal line, Central. Wherever you may be watching the telecast, this will go right down to the 40th minute. Right down to full time. Souths, can they force the error? Central Newcastle through Marlborough. Out it comes now to the 6 in Walker. He finds the 15 in Jarrett. He's claimed on his back. 10 metres short of the halfway line. 4.5 minutes remaining in the match. Macaulay, 4 short of the halfway line. Melbourne, a dummy half. They're going to kick it. Well, they're not. Loose ball, gone backwards. Somebody will have to kick the football. No, referee has said knock on. He might have got a call from the touch judge over the hair with the blonde hair. He's put his whisper in, and they've got the football back, the Lions, and they want a quick scrum feed. But no, it's not a scrum feed, it was the changeover. It was the last tackle, of course. So 3 minutes remaining here on Bar TV. We're going to take the tap again.
Well, getting back to coach killers, that dead set is a coach killer. Well,
was that a knock on?
Oh,
it was a knock on, but the referee.
Well, a bit of a let off there for Liam Higgins.
Josh, I guarantee you the message for the bench would be kick early. Don't wait to the last, because you know that they're going to come and put pressure on you. You kick early when you're in that position, but that message mustn't have got out of there, or sometimes tired athletes out there just don't absorb all those informations that the coaches give.
This is Higgins. Lorimer. Back to Edwards. Out and back to Johnson. 5 metres away. Can they go to the front in this set of 6? Ball's on the ground. Picked up by Winners. Sees the gap. Sees the try line and scores. That's the match. South Lions have come back. They were dead. They were gone. But the Red V never says die, and it looks like they're going to march all the way through to the final whistle with their tails in front.
Well, we're only talking before about which halfback would step up and win the match, and me and Barney both thought it'd be Tom Liddon, not Jared Rodimer, but Steve Withers. I've been proved wrong here, but Steve Withers is he stood up. It was a great take there. It was a difficult pass, a little jink, dummy, and straight through. Massive confidence boost from the young guy. He'll love that.
Yeah, what he's done is just got on the inside shoulder of Walker and then found Jarrett just not pushing hard enough into that next hole and just being a little bit too quick. So I really think that it's an indication of how this club's going at the moment, where the good clubs seem to find wins when they're not really playing that well, and they'll sneak home here today. But I think Central should be pretty proud of the effort they put up today and keep their head up. From what I saw with you, Pete, 3 or 4 weeks ago at Cessnock to what I've seen here today, there's been a complete attitude change in the way they're defending, and I think they've got a hell of a lot more wins coming up yet.
But, we guess we go back to that poor kick there last set when they knocked on, trying to put the kick on the last tackle. As Barney said, they really should have been kicking earlier in the set, getting the ball downfield, and unfortunately really going to pay for that error by the look of it.
Here's the kick, waved away. So we've got 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining. Souths, 18 points to 16. The clock continues to tick away.
It's the only ground that is not a clock, and you'll notice that we're relying off of that clock on the television, and sometimes that's not what it is.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, being when you have to report on these games, it's certainly a pet hate of mine when you don't have a clock. It's horrible, but hopefully the Merriweather types are always quite influential in Newcastle. They might be able to get a little electric scoreboard here somewhere.
Good defence, but South not long to go in the match. 20 odd seconds remaining on the unofficial game clock.
There was a rumour going around that Lou's Racing were going to part with some cash and put a clock up, but knowing Christian, I'm sure he's resisted that temptation to open his pockets up.
Souths down and out, but back in the match inside the 40. Big kick downfield, heading towards the touchline. Knocked on at the back. Knocked on by Tom Morton. Well, it was a dribbling ball, but also could be the P word, pressure.
Yeah, well, this is an inexperienced football side. They had the game to win with 3 or 4 minutes to go, and they've come up with 2 howlers of mistakes, and South have capitalised on it. And again, what do? You just got to praise the effort they've been out there today, and get these young blokes keep their heads up and get to next week.
Well, the scrum will pack down. We're at full time, so the siren, it'll go any moment now. We're just searching for a football. There's the siren, and it's all over. Souths have defeated Central Newcastle by 18 points to 16. Well, you speak about the Red V, you speak about the never say die attitude of the Lions, and certainly haven't we seen that come to fruition here this afternoon, Josh Leeson?
I think, the season's end. Adam Bettridge will look at this game as being a lucky win. I don't think they certainly weren't overly impressive in patches, but as we were saying, that maybe this is proof they're going to be a champion side because they're winning these games when you aren't playing your best footy. And I suppose West did the same last week and they beat Maitland. They weren't at their best either, but they proved they were champion side by winning that game still. So yeah, South, it's going to be a big win for them, and I feel very sorry for the Butcher boys because I think they played pretty well today, but just as Barney was saying before, a bit of inexperience to the death has cost them badly.
A really gutsy win, wasn't it, Craig?
Yeah, it was a pretty dour type of game for most of it, and ended up being very exciting in the end. But I think Josh has summed the game up pretty well. South were obviously off their game a little bit, minus Briggs and all those type of things, but they're still good enough to win it, and quality football sides do that. And but again, I just feel that Central give a really good account of themselves today, and probably deserved to win the game for mine, but they didn't. But I'm sure Matt will pick them back up and point out the improvements they're making, and they're going to win a lot more games, and they should be very proud of their effort today.
Well, Souths take on Port Stephens next weekend, and if they don't play at 100%, they'll knock you over on any day.
Yeah, well, the Port Stephens are a tough football side. I know we towed them up, but geez, we had a tough game, and I know they get propped up a little bit by Pete Mulholland and the Knights players, so it just depends on what's happening there and whether they get a few of those quality players back, and if they do, they're a hard side to beat. But I don't know. I think we follow South every week, so South have really given us some real hard tasks this year. They keep beating sides, and then they want to come after and get that win back. So, South and Adam should be very proud of the way they're conducting themselves this year, and I think it's looking forward to a really strong finish. And I know that we're certainly looking at them as a major threat.
Craig, you take on Curry, I believe, next week. Yeah,
we're Curry at home, hopefully at Harker. If the pool drains properly, but it's a grand final replay, and I spoke to Phil Williams yesterday, and I know they're going through a tough period with a lot of injuries, but Curry are a pretty proud club, and they love playing West, so we expect a pretty tough game, and just depends if our rep plays back up or not after the country final on Saturday.
And Josh, Central, they face Lakes United next weekend.
Yeah, well, I know they flogged Lakes there early in the season, which one of the first games we had on Bar TV, but I think since then Lakes are probably a completely different side. They've had some good couple of wins, a bit of confidence in the camp, so it should be a pretty tight game, I think. But I'd still like to tip to Central in the end.
Okay, well, stay tuned, and we'll be letting all our viewers know next week which game we'll be at. Of course, all the coverage throughout the real NRL is right here on Bar TV. Well, that pretty much wraps us up. Hope everyone's had a good time in the commentary box. We'll do it again in a few weeks' time. Craig, thank you very much as well.
No worries, Pete. Thanks, Josh.
And Josh, we'll read about it in tomorrow's Newcastle Herald.
Will do. Thanks, Pete.
No worries, mate. Well, we'll do it again next weekend. So on behalf of the entire Rugby League commentary team here at Townsend Oval, Bar TV, real NRL coverage. It's right here on the home of real NRL, Bar TV.
See you, man.